Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so we are going to be learning about Andy Warhol's art. So the first thing you want to do is look at the video that I posted, which gives you some interesting facts about Andy Warhol. It shows you examples of his work. So Andy Warhol he was from Slovakia, but he actually lived in the United States since he was young, and he was raised in the city of Pittsburgh. So what he did that was pretty interesting. He was a pop artist, obviously, but what he did that was very interesting is that he focused on everyday items such as soup cans, Coca-Cola bottles, and kind of created a sense of repetition with either just repeating it over and kind of consider it art. So it's changing the perspective of everyday items could also be perceived as art. Another thing that he was very focused on was celebrities. Celebrities mean famous people. So he would do something called screens painting, which would be like sort of like kind of repeating, almost think of it like a stamp that you could kind of repeat of the same exact person. And then he would use different colors. So I'm going to show you some of his work. This is a famous one about Marilyn Monroe, which is showing you after she died, he created that. And so you can see that every background, I know these two don't look exactly the same, but every background has a different color. And the hair is the same here, but in some of his work, the hair could be also different. The makeup could be a little slightly different. And it's very vibrant and colorful, right? The other thing is, so I'm going to show you one more that is sort of similar style to that. And that would be one that he did of Che Guevara. So Che Guevara, you can see in this one that the hair color is definitely different, right? And the background for each section is also different, all using bright colors. And it is the same face. It's almost like, like if you're making a t-shirt, but you're just making everything for every t-shirt, you're making it slightly different, okay? Another famous painting that he did was the soup can. So he was raised eating a lot of canned soup. And so he considered that art. And so he repeated this image over and over, but it could actually be maybe a different flavor of soup for each can. And so what we are planning to do is create a sense of repetition. This is not his, but this is something kind of paying homage to his style. So the first thing that we want to do, we're actually going to do donuts. So you want to grab your paper and you want to divide it in four. The easy way to do that is actually folding your paper in half and then folding it again in half, or you could take a ruler and measure it. Actually, I think this one is much easier. So if you fold it like this, you will have four exact spaces the same size. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and show you what I'm doing, right? So I'm actually going to go and make the line. And the reason I'm going to make the line is because I want it to be visible when we color it, because we are going to color same size because it is creating repetition. So this is what I have so far, four circles. Inside each circle, I want to make the donut hole. I'm not sure if you're able to see that, but let me just go check. Okay, so you can see the donut hole, right? And they're relatively the same size. You want to do the same size. If you want to use a circle item, if you want them to be perfectly the same size, like a can, you could do that. That's fine. All right, and now we want to create glaze. So the fun thing about this is that I'm going to create like as if there is a glazed donut and it's not fully glazed, right? And I'm going to do that to each section. See? And it's kind of covering almost a bit more than half. And the idea is also to create, also have some little things for sprinkles, right? So I'm creating these like kind of long oval things, which are going to be the sprinkles that we would put on the donut. And I'm trying to repeat it exactly for each one. And the difference would be that in each section, we would vary, right? Each section would be different in color, right? Okay. Again, doing this, it's easier if you have it, if you're coloring it in, to be honest. But I'm trying to do this so that you can see how it would be without coloring. So this is what we have so far, right? Now, the other thing is to decide, I actually want the donut to be the same color for each donut, the donut part, but I don't want the glaze to be the same, okay? So I'm gonna make sure, I'm just gonna go like this and color it like this light brown on each section. Obviously, if you're doing this, you could take your time with the coloring, and just be more thorough than I am, right? So this is what we have so far. Whoopsies, this is what we have so far. And for the opposite side. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. So if this is red, right, and I go ahead and start coloring red, then that means that my icing needs to be a contrasting color. I should not have the same color of icing as the background, and I want it to really kind of stand out. I'm gonna go ahead and do this icing yellow. Ideally, you would not color the sprinkles because you would want the sprinkles to be a separate color, right? So you have to kind of go around it. If you're doing another color that's not that yellow, then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you at least that we're getting all those bits, and then we can start proceeding with coloring the sprinkles a separate color. So I'm going to just go ahead and just put a little bit of green, and then I could also use the red because the red is not gonna go bad, and so then I'll use like this blue color marker. Have to be in the exact same spot, and then I'm going to continue coloring this yellow. Actually going to need a sharpener. Now if you only get to color half of it, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to finish today because this is an intro to Andy Warhol. So if you color 1 or 2, I will be happy with that. I just want to make sure that you color the background a solid color. I want to go ahead and finish that so that I can make sure that you can see what one would look like if it's completed. Make sure that you're coloring neatly. I'll probably go harder and darker red on this, but basically this is the gist of it. You're coloring one whole section and you can actually outline it with black. Make sure that you draw all 4 sections and you could easily just color 1 or 2, okay? And that's pretty much it for today. I hope you are going to enjoy this project. Have a good one. Bye.